The trade war just got gnarly, and President Trump is going full throttle with new taxes on just about everyone. But here's the kicker. The market? It's acting like it just rolled out of bed. Totally chill. Don't be a dummy, though. The full gut punch truth about how this is going to smack your money is coming. And I'm spilling the beans on when and how at the very end of this video. So buckle up because you need to watch every single second. First off, let's talk Canada, our next door buddy, our main trading partner. Trump just jacked up the proposed taxes on certain Canadian stuff from 25% to a brutal 35%. Yeah, you heard that right. This was a total curveball, especially since Canada wasn't even on the original Liberation Day 1.0 hit list. Now, there are still a ton of unanswered questions swirling around, like, will goods covered by the USMCA trade deal, that's about 40% of all the stuff we get from Canada, still get a pass? Folks are hoping they will, maybe even with zero taxes. But with Trump, nothing is set in stone until it's signed, sealed, and delivered. Even big stuff like oil and fertilizer, which are huge for our economy, are still in the crosshairs. They're looking at a 10% tax rate right now, and that's expected to stick. But again, it's all up in the air. And it's not just Canada getting this surprise treatment. Europe, our absolute biggest trading partner, is also staring down the barrel of new tax threats. This week kicked off with everyone hoping for some big trade deal with Europe. But now, Trump's just dictating rates like a boss. We're talking bonkers proposed taxes, a 50% tax on stuff from Brazil, purely for political reasons, not because of economics. A 50% tax on copper, and get this, a mind-blowing 200% tax on medicine. All of this is building up to a monster August 1st deadline. It's going to be a wild ride. Now, you're probably scratching your head thinking, why the heck isn't the stock market freaking out? Excellent question. Wall Street sees this whole thing as a giant negotiating game. They've seen Trump bluster, threaten huge numbers, and then back down a bit. But here's the vital lesson you need to learn. Even when he backs off, major changes still happen. Experts say Trump's playbook is to promise 5 big things, then maybe back down on 3 of them, but 2 still stick. So while nobody expects a full 35% tax on Canada, it's absolutely, positively going to be higher than it is now. The average tax rate on imports is already up from about 15% to about 18%, and it's still climbing. This isn't just noise, people. This is a real financial hit to companies, and you need to pay attention. Just check out the fancy German car makers like Mercedes and Porsche. They're already getting hammered by a 25% tax on their cars. Mercedes sales in the US are down a shocking 12%. They're having to swallow some of those extra costs and freeze prices for now just to stay competitive. But they can't do that forever. Porsche makes all their cars in Germany, so they're in an even tighter spot than Mercedes, which actually has a factory in Alabama. This is why you're seeing American stocks lagging behind the rest of the world. The Sell America trend is real, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. We're moving forward, sure, but we're slower than everybody else. On the flip side, the total tax money collected by the U.S. government from these tariffs is expected to be another record, probably well over $25 billion. That tells you Uncle Sam is raking in the cash from these taxes. But hey, enough about trade wars for a sec. Let's flip the script and talk about where the real fortunes are being made. Artificial intelligence. This AI explosion is the single biggest, most mind-blowing thing happening in technology right now. And it's fueling the stock market like nothing we've ever seen before. We are living through a golden age for tech, and you don't want to miss it. Leading the charge, no contest, is Nvidia. They are the undisputed godfather of AI. Their computer chips are literally powering this whole revolution. Even with Uncle Sam telling them they can't sell their latest and greatest chips to China, which is a colossal market worth about $8 billion every 3 months, demand for Nvidia's chips is still through the roof. Trump knows Nvidia is a massive poker chip he can play in his negotiations. Experts believe Nvidia is just at the starting line of a monumental surge, heading towards a total company value of $5 trillion and beyond. We're talking a multi-year tech boom, and Nvidia is driving the whole thing. Then there's Tesla. Yeah, Elon Musk is busy playing politics, but don't forget the real price here: self-driving tech and super smart robots. This company is about to blast into its biggest growth phase ever. There's a lot of chatter about the Tesla board needing to step up, giving Musk a new pay package, giving him 25% voting power, and putting some guardrails on his political antics. Even if Elon himself told one analyst to shut up, the rock-solid case for Tesla as a massive AI winner is still incredibly strong. It's expected to be one of the biggest AI success stories, right up there with Nvidia. And what about Apple? The tech titan. They have to make a huge move in AI to stay in the game. We're talking a monster company buyout, possibly a company like Perplexity, which is valued at around $14 billion. If Apple somehow fumbles this AI wave, it would be a giant stain on CEO Tim Cook's record. Apple usually buys smaller companies, but experts are screaming that Apple has to make a deal. They must do a deal. It's like a baseball player in a slump who needs to change their bat. Sometimes you just gotta shake things up to hit a home run. And finally, get ready for Palantir, the Messi of AI. This company is on track to become a $1 trillion company in the next 2 to 3 years. Yes, you heard me right. The doubters keep whining about the price, saying its value makes no sense. But they're totally missing the big picture. If all you do is stare at the price tag, you've missed out on every single game-changing growth stock for the last 20 years. This is one of the best AI investments in the world, driving crazy innovation for businesses and governments. Palantir is like a Ferrari flying down the fast lane at 100 miles an hour while the competition is stuck in a minivan doing 45. Palantir is on a clear path to be the next Oracle, a true powerhouse. So, what does all this mean for your hard-earned money and your investments? Well, these tariffs are still a heavy burden on the American economy. Imagine putting a 50-pound backpack on an Olympic athlete. It's going to slow them down. Company profits are definitely feeling the heat, and it's tough for smart people who analyze this stuff to figure out exactly how bad it'll get because these tariff rates and special deals keep changing. Companies are trying everything, managing costs, cutting staff, and shifting their supply chains around to shield themselves from these tariffs. The numbers we've seen so far show resilience, but there's a whole lot of weight that the market hasn't fully grasped yet. But here's the most important thing you need to understand. Spreading your money around is absolutely crucial right now. The stock market is super concentrated in just a handful of giant tech companies. You can't put all your eggs in one basket because surprises can pop up out of nowhere in the super fast AI race. You need to think smart about how you spread your investments. You need a rock-solid boat to navigate whatever rough waters are coming next. And about those tariffs? The complete picture of how much pain they're causing for companies and for you, the everyday consumer, won't be totally clear until the end of this year, and frankly, it's probably not going to be pretty. A year from now, we'll have an even clearer view, and it's likely still not going to be a pretty sight. That's the true long-term impact of Trump's trade policies. You've been warned. If you found this straight talk breakdown helpful, hit that like button right now. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights like this, and definitely ring that bell icon so you never miss an update. See you next time.